Hello, I am the gentleman, and this is the Gentleman Voice. As you might have heard, this has not been my month. First, my laptop died as a motherboard problem, and that happened while I was working on King Kong Part 2. Then I got a new laptop, but it wasn't able to do screen capture, so we couldn't do any video footage. However, I'm happy to say that we are now back in business. I have a laptop, it can do screen capture, and so we can begin the review season once again with...
So, we meet again, gentlemen.
Hello, Shaitan. What do you want?
Have you so quickly forgotten your promise?
Promise? What promise?
Your promise to complete your King Kong review.
The top 12 reasons why I don't like King Kong Part 2. Hey!
An editorial was acceptable while you had no means to complete your video reviews, but now that you do...
Regardless, that's my review. So I held up my end up.
Are you sure that you do not desire time to consider your answer? Your old accommodations in the world of foggy doctors are still available.
Hello, I am the gentleman, and this is part 2 of my King Kong review. What?
What about your intro?
Well, it's kind of a continuation, so...
Very well, proceed.
King Kong Part 2, everybody.
Can take Hayes and 15 others.
Whoa. Shaitan, I already reviewed this section.
You fast-forwarded through it.
That in itself is a review.
Reviewing it.
Okay, look, this is King Kong Part 2, which means Disc 2 of the extended edition of King Kong. And that's just how it's going to be. So, there's nothing you can say that's going to change my mind. Nothing at all that is going to... Okay. To recap, Andaro has just been snatched up by King Kong, and our heroes are prepping themselves to go after her.
Not you, Jimmy.
Come on, Mr. Hayes. Look at him. None of them know to operate upon a gun.
Stay here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure that Jimmy is going to follow that order and is not going to just happen to slip into the party. I mean, it's not like Jackson's going to bring up that cliche about taking an order and then not following it and then having a big part to do later, right? Right? As they trek into the jungle, they hear something big this way comes. Oh my god, it's the Jurassic Park Island. Why didn't they bring Dr. Grant?
No force on earth or heaven could get me on that island.
Oh well, I guess we have to let the people who know nothing about dinosaurs have a go at it. Come on. And after that encounter, they all get up and leave? What? No casualties? Broken bones? Nothing? Okay, the way they were flying through the air right there, I mean, there's no way no one got hurt. I mean, no one's even wobbling with a concussion or anything. I mean, okay, look, Jackson, this isn't the island from Lost. I know that people heal fast there, but even when Locke gets his leg crushed by a massive steel door, he has to use crutches to get around for a while. I know this is a movie about a giant killer ape and dinosaurs, but can't we have a little realism? Meanwhile, Kong races on with Anne in hand. Jackson, the blurry action is really, really irritating. I didn't say anything before when you had it when the natives attacked, but it looks really cheap, and it really annoys me. Besides that, no, this scene here, do we need slow-mo? I mean, we get that it is a scary scene for Anne. We get that. We don't need it emphasized with slow-mo. After that scene, our heroes continue their pursuit, but Hayes makes a startling discovery.
Just keep walking, Mr. Hayes. Pretend he didn't see me.
Jesus, Jimmy.
Hey, I need that.
I'm not giving you a gun.
Well, who could have predicted this? Surely everybody in the audience! But you know what? I'm going to make a guess here. I'm going to guess that Hayes lets Jimmy come along because nobody would ever guess that. Not in a million years would anybody ever guess that.
Don't make me regret it.
Congratulations, gentlemen. You won the grand prize and guessed the obvious.
Cool, so what was my prize?
Your prize is reviewing Disc 2 of King Kong. Yes, give in to your pain. Let it consume you.
Can I get a refund?
No. Have fun.
Damn you, Shaitan! So Disc 2 opens with our heroes wandering the jungle and shooting huge bugs.
Conserve your ammunition!
They reach a place to rest and discover a giant footprint.
There's only one creature capable of leaving a footprint that size.
Wow, they're really building up the suspense on this joke. But it's really funny.
The abominable snowman.
That's it. The abominable snowman. All that build up for a terribly stupid joke. The obvious Bigfoot that's too classy for you. Granted, it's not any funnier than the abominable snowman, but it at least makes sense. I mean, big footprint, Bigfoot, big footprint, Yeti. Oh, I forgot to mention that Carl's story arc throughout most of this movie is his need to film everything around him so he can make money. So while everyone else is looking at the print, he's off filming some dinosaurs. But dinosaurs are camera shy. Who would have guessed? And everyone except Jack Driscoll realizes that it's a good time to run.
It's a stampede!
Run!
So they run and kick a raptor in the head and run and... Wait, what? What? After that, they run and shoulder push a raptor and run some... What? What? Why would you... What? You know what? Let's just go. Let's just go on. Finally, one of them gets the idea to shoot the dinos, which makes them all fall down. But here's my question. If these guys are so trigger happy that they'll shoot bugs while they're walking in the jungle, why didn't they shoot these dinosaurs at the beginning? Oh my god, mosquito! Oh my god, a dinosaur! Run away! So of course the raptors ignore the all-you-can-eat buffet of down giant dinos so they can instead eat the snack-sized humans. Which, let's face it, it's just what everybody would do. Yes, I'll have a dish of jumbo shrimp, and just hold the jumbo so that they're just shrimp, but you see, I'm starving today.
Anything to drink, sir?
Yes, I'll have a glass of Minute Maid, but make sure it's just a minute glass. But the Raptors do manage to catch someone, Carl's cameraman, who valiantly saves their camera and sacrifices himself. Farewell, poor cameraman. You can rest now knowing that, while the audience barely knew you, at least you have played a role in furthering the Carl Denham story arc. The party of heroes regroups beside a river, but the actor decides that this has gone on long enough.
Miss Darrow was a great gal. No question. She was a wonderful person. It's a terrible loss, and we're all gonna miss her.
I always knew you were nothing like the tough guy you play on screen. I just never figured you for a coward.
No, this is not cowardice. Let me reiterate that. This is not cowardice. This is logic. And to prove it, let's turn to the king of logic himself, Spock.
Were I to invoke logic, logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I would not presume to debate you. That is wise.
Now I admit that is not an ideal situation. Just like everyone else, I would like to have everybody be saved. But there comes a point when you have to realize that even if you do manage to save Ann Darrow, it will be a Pyrrhic victory. I mean, you've lost several people already in the quest to save this one life, including Carl's cameraman. How many more must die before you let Ann Darrow go? Speaking of our monkey bait heroine, we see her come face to face with Kong. Lady, are you nuts? That is the bravest stupid thing I've seen anyone do this entire movie. Why can't anyone else be like that? It turns out that Kong just wants to be entertained, something the audience of this movie has yet to be. But even the vaudeville performer Ann Darrow has her limits.
I said no!
Lady, you do not say no to Kong! He is a massive 10-story gorilla! I take back what I said before. This is the bravest, stupidest, most suicidal thing I've seen anybody do. Ever!
Kong knows right! Kong mad! Kong rolling! Kong out in pain!
Well, now that the sad music has started, I guess I should feel sorry for... Oh, well, let's just run away.
Meanwhile, the rescue party gets attacked by swarms of bugs and a giant sea monster. I would show you the scene, but it's really not essential to the story. And in fact, it is downright boring. So, I shall spare you the pain that I had to suffer through. Carl reaches safety on the other side and tries to get some good footage of the monster. Maybe a little too good.
Did you get that, did you?
No, actually I didn't. You want to be a stand-in for him? Rather than mourn for the additional dead people. Yeah, more than one guy died in that scene. Really seeming like a worthwhile quest, isn't it? They continue on to a massive gorge with a log bridge. Ordering everyone back, Hayes goes to make sure it's safe.
Go back!
Oh, Hayes! You were actually one of my favorite characters! And at least your death looked awesome. But one epic death deserves more, so Kong throws everyone else into the ravine. Yay! Boring heroes gone! Yay! But we still have our heroine to worry about as she hides from rampaging dinosaurs in the jungle. Wow, whatever dragged out that creature must be really huge. I think it's a good idea to stay hidden for a while. Oh, really? You're brave enough to punch a 10-story gorilla in the face. But a 3-foot bug is just enough to make you go... Prioritize, lady! Oh god, another dramatic dino. I think they just took the same creature from Jurassic Park 3 and just dropped it in here. It didn't work then, so it didn't work now! Besides, am I the only one who still thinks it's odd that these dinosaurs will pass up the massive prey they caught so they can eat bite-sized humans?
Here you go, sir. Your personal chocolate mountain cake.
Wow,
Enjoy.
Wow, thank you, thank you. But you know, why don't you just take all the other layers off except for this one. I just feel like a chocolate molehill today, not a chocolate mountain.
Really? Really?
Yeah, just off you go. Yeah.
Oh, I've really hate my life.
Luckily, Anne manages to elude that dinosaur, only to find... Seriously? How many T-Rexes are there in that one spot? It looks like the end when suddenly... Don't worry, honey, I'll save you! Even though you don't really like me, and you try and punch me in the nose, and you say no to me, but I'll save you! Uh-oh, more trouble coming in. You know, I'm starting to rethink saving you, little human thing that's too small for... 3. Do we really need 3 dinosaurs to fight Kong? That seems... excessive. I mean, even the original may do with 1. Granted, they were doing groundbreaking special effects back then, but they may do with 1. 3. So they battle, then Kong throws all the T-Rexes into the gorge, and they all fall down, and they fall, and they fall, and they... Okay, I really can't let this slide. I'm sorry, but I really need to interject here. Jackson, listen to me. You're taking your movie into 2 opposite extremes. Let me put it to you in a metaphorical way. Think of your movie as chocolate chip cookies. The cookie dough is the character development that holds it all together. And the action scenes are the chocolate chips, the gooey goodness that we all like. Now, you have essentially given us 2 batches of chocolate chip cookies. The first batch was mostly dough and didn't really have enough chocolate chips to make it good. And now that we're into the second batch, we're getting the chocolate chips, but not enough dough to hold it together, so it's falling apart, and we only have a few small bites to enjoy. You have to find a balance between the dough and the chocolate. If you have too much of one and not enough of the other, it's not going to work. Now, if you made all these chocolate chips for yourself, then we wouldn't be having this conversation, because you can make them however you want for yourself. But you see, we, the audience, we are partaking of your cookies. And so, you need to take into consideration how we enjoy things. And at last comes to a stop beside one of the downed T-Rexes, and it tries to reach her. Okay, seriously, I think that T-Rex is having too much fun. Whee! Whee! Eventually, everyone gets on the ground, and Kong dukes it out with the last T-Rex. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that looked awesome. I know that was in the original, but it still looks awesome.
You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
Meanwhile, our band of male heroes start to come to in the gorge, and the first casualty becomes apparent when we realize that Carl's camera is smashed. No! That means that the cameraman died in vain! But then we see more tragedy when the camera pans across the many rescuers who are also dead. You see? You see? All these people died to save one person. You see why this was a stupid, crazy idea? What does Buck say again?
Logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
This is why that concept is logical. You sacrifice one life to save many. It makes economical, social, and logical sense. Yeah! Unfortunately, we still have a ways to go. So let's try and get through this quickly. But a bunch of giant bugs and slugs come out to eat them. Yes, more bugs. What's Jackson's fascination with giant bugs?
You were stung as a child, weren't you?
Now, I'm sure that this was supposed to be exciting. I mean, it's Peter Jackson, the director of The Lord of the Rings. But it's not. In fact, just like everything else in the movie, it drones on and on and on. And at the end of the sequence, it culminates into the high point of one of the characters' story arcs. One character who actually manages to rise above his situation and become a hero at last. The actor! Yes, you heard right. The actor comes back for his so-called and highly improbable redemption. And I say improbable for several reasons. He had to walk all the way back to the wall, find the ship captain, explain the situation, then trek all the way back with everyone else. By which time he would have had no idea where they were, or he would have arrived in time to see their half-eaten, bug-ridden corpses. I'm dwelling again. Let's just move on. Cutting away from that scene, Jackson now takes us to the top of a mountain where Anne and Kong have an actually touching moment. And then we leave that scene to watch our heroes climb out of the gorge, all ready to go back. What? Giving up? But you've got all these new people you can sacrifice. Yet Jack goes his own way to continue his rescue attempt himself. But unbeknownst to him, Carl and the captain hatch a plan to capture Kong alive.
You got a boat full of chloroform we could put to good use. You want to trap the ape?
Oh, please do! It'll make the movie so much longer. So Jack climbs to the top of the mountain where he somehow knows Kong is, crawling past Oh god, supersized bats. Is everything on this island supersized like a giant skeleton of an ape? No, wait, no! Don't cut away from that, Jackson! This is a moment worth taking your time on. This is a moment to make us think. I mean, I know there's nothing actually going on yet, and so you want to move away from it, but don't! He's going to wake up, he's going to wake up, he's going to... Jeez, talk about obvious. But Jack and Ann make their escape by grabbing one of the supersized bats and soaring to safety. Stupid! This is stupid! This is as bad as that god-awful heinous scene from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, the nuking the fridge. Oh yeah, I am putting it on the same level as nuking the fridge. They race across the bridge as Kong arrives, and Jackson gives us another of his pointless slow-mo scenes to show that everyone is prepared to capture Kong.
Let go of me!
Dude, lady, he didn't know about this. He was too busy saving you. Remember? Kong, no light!
All of you, run!
Ah, run away! Kong smash! Finally, someone takes out a harpoon gun and takes a shot at him. Well, okay, there's only one thing that's running through my head at this moment. I used to be a great ape, then I took a harpoon to the knee. Oh, memes are funny. With Kong finally down, they hit him in the face with a bottle of chloroform. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at what we're doing. We are subjugating this proud, impressive animal to the worst fate imaginable. I mean, he's only done such harmless things as... Surely we humans are the monsters in this movie. Surely we humans and mankind deserve to be... God dang it, I thought we were done with that joke.
The whole world will pay to see this. In a few months, his name will be up in lights on Broadway. Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
Cut to New York again, where Carl is the center of attention with his new show. But more important than the fate of our oh-so-tortured animal is Jack Driscoll realizing he never told Anne that he loved her. Well, even if he did tell her, I don't think she'd believe him unless he developed some emotions. Jack rushes to the theater where King Kong is showing so he can express his feelings, but instead ends up pausing to watch the show.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the greatest thing your eyes have ever beheld. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Kong, the eighth wonder of the world!
Ooh. Ah. Now if this presentation actually had the Empire State Building so we knew that the film was almost over, I'd be even more thrilled.
We have in the auditorium tonight a surprise guest. The real-life hero of this story. The man who hunted down the mighty Kong. A big hand for Mr. Bruce Baxter!
Aw, well, isn't that a little insulting? I mean, the guy who did so little in the adventure actually gets the most credit. Well, I guess everyone realized that Adrian Brody isn't that much of a hero figure. Well, this is all very exciting and all, but where's Anne?
For we now come to the climax of this savage ritual, the sacrifice of a beautiful young girl.
Oh, I see, so it's not Anne. So where is she? Well, it turns out she wanted nothing more to do with Carl's show and didn't show up. But more important things are going on, as it seems Kong is not happy about the old Anne switcheroo.
Get these people out of here.
Excuse me, fellas. Coming through.
Goodbye! My character arc is complete! I went from 0 to hero to 0 again! Yay! Remember that this is all your fault, little man. You will realize this is what happens when you screw with nature. I'm getting tired of that. So King Kong runs amok in New York City trying to find Andaro, and suddenly Jack gets the bright idea to distract Kong.
Come on, pal, we gotta draw him off.
It's all yours, buddy.
Oh, look, a cab! Listen, I need to find a ride to find... Hey, come back here! It's because I'm Harry, isn't it?
Now, to Jackson's credit, some sections of this whole sequence actually work very well. The stage show was good, even mocking the original movie if you pay attention. The breakout was good, but this scene is dull. I mean, really, really dull. How long do we have to watch Kong chase a cab around New York City? Hey look, it's the most interesting Adrian Brody's been this whole movie. At last, Anne comes to see what is causing all of the commotion. Okay, Jackson, I know you're a fan of super long moments, but this one's super overdramatic. I mean, I half expected to start speaking Elvish as you cut between them. So finally, King Kong picks her up and they partake in... God, a romantic stroll down the streets of New York. Jeez, you could at least do something other than... Wait! No! Forget I said that! There's no way I'm going to suggest you do something like Kong on... Ah! Why? But the Monkey Man has to wait, as it appears the United States military has finally gotten its act together. They pursue Kong until he begins climbing the Empire State Building. I've never been so happy to see a building in my life. This means we're almost at the end, people! When they reach the top of the building, there's a brief lull so that they can look out at the sunrise. Look, Jackson, I know earlier I said this was a really nice development that developed character, but right now we're all ready for the movie to end. Just call in the Air Force to shoot down the goddamn ape already. Thank you! So Kong gets ready to do battle with things that should just look like giant birds to him, so he shouldn't feel the need to fight by climbing to the tip top of the building. And I tell you, this is most definitely a riveting scene. I mean, look at all in this intense choreography. Fire, swing, miss. Fire, swing, miss. You know what this is? This is a video game. Just put a few button controls up there, put an HP gauge, and yeah, you're good to go. Okay, all joking aside, let's get this review done. Anne runs up to tell the pilots to stop, but they shoot him anyways. He falls into the streets below, and Adrian Brody arrives to comfort her in her time of need. Listen, I know it's a bad time and all since your monkey mate died, but do you want to get married? And in the end, does any of it matter?
What does it matter? Airplanes got him.
It wasn't the airplanes. It was beauty killed the beast.
And that's the end. Whew! God, that was a tough one. I mean, how far away from the greatness of the Lord of the Rings can you jump with just one movie? The characters were dull and half of them seemed lifeless. The CGI was overbearing and looked fake. And worst of all, it was too long! If it's long enough that I have to make 2 reviews in order to complete the whole film, it's too long. And I'm sorry if I'm not taken in by the whole we should feel sorry for messing with nature and all that, but if I was given a choice of watching this movie or shooting a giant gorilla, get me a gun and let's put that monster down.
That's it, folks. Show's over. Step back.
It definitely is. And that's the gentleman's voice. Cheerio and... Gah! Are you kidding me?